Happy 4th of July. Moving over to the North American region, it's your boy F. and your other boy Anatoly. We're going to be bringing you some North American SCL action. It's going to be Team Eager taking on one of their teams as they head up against them.
And going off in the first seed is Most Wanted Eager, right behind at 6-2 Noble, upsetting Soar earlier on, now tied with them, with Elevate struggling with Kingdom at 5th and 6th.
It's going to be a little bit rough. It's going to be a little bit rough. Eager, definitely the top card here, but as I said, their opposition did very well the last time we saw them.
The last time they played, these two teams specifically, Noble did lose. They kind of got destroyed.
No, yes, but Noble just beat Soar, which is
That's
what I'm
true.
alluding to. And the fact that Soar and Eager are pretty much considered the upper echelon in North American SCL, well, will the transitive property exist?
Okay.
So looking at how well Noble did against Soar, keep in mind, that was Soar without their mid laner.
True.
Aggro wasn't there at the moment, but even still, the 4 players around that mid lane, still a very good squad. Coming to this one, Toly, Noble, does it exist? Does it work?
I expect them to just show more progress against Eager. I still think Eager has a slight advantage going into this matchup, a very just dominant team with a lot of experience together as a unit.
Right.
So Noble has to really show something solid right from the start if they want to get an impact against Eager.
And so with the first pick, first ban, that's certainly going to put them in a position to do so. Noble, thinking about their first couple of bans right here, Eager has been successful pretty much across the board. I don't think there's a pick that you necessarily have to ban out to the team specifically. So instead, you just kind of hit the top shelf stuff, and Raijin takes a seat.
Pretty standard stuff's coming out of both teams. As you mentioned before, Eager is known to play anything and everything, going from the Cupid in the Hunter position.
Yep.
You know, we don't normally see Vimana in the console, but they've been running that as well.
Yeah, very, very innovative, I'll say, is Team Eager. They're willing to do things and start things off. And, you know, again, with the throwing dagger change, they were the first team to really bring Xybalanque, and that made its way to the PC scene. And we've seen many, many different waves come from Team Eager. So Noble, in their first position, will opt for the Cabrakan first pick. Now, Cabrakan does get picked a lot in the SCL. You can see 11 picks, and with those 11 picks, he's won about 6 games. So it's certainly a pick that is popular in the SCL. Why first pick?
In this position, when you're trying to play very aggressive from the very start, Cabrakan in the solo lane just works.
Okay.
You're very hybrid in terms of your defense and offense when you go Mark of the Vanguard and your purple pot start, which 99% of Cabrakans do anyway, and you control the laning phase very well by using your tremors the whole wave, and no solo laner can really clear the wave at the same rate.
So here's the question, though. Cabrakan gets picked in, and all that wonderful stuff that you said sounds very nice, but Susano has been virtually auto-banned in the Smite Console League. So by picking Cabrakan up number 1, you leave out the Athena, sure, but the Susano. Is the Cabrakan first pick worth giving up the Susano?
So it's a little bit of a double-edged blade in this position because Susano can obviously pull Cabrakan away from the tremors. However, Cabrakan's ultimate stops Susano from getting away. He relies on his jet stream and his dash to get away from certain encounters, and that ultimate will prevent him from escaping.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. The Chronos for Team Eager. This is just a very strong character that Eager likes to play, and Eager will opt to just ban out the supports. Kumbhakarna and the Bacchus will be banned out by Team Eager, knowing that Noble likes to play those protective and aggressive supports.
Generally, that's just great setup.
Yep.
Coming out of the Kumbhakarna and the Bacchus, it doesn't really matter who you pair up with that. It's just going to complement it also well. And Eager taking a very aggressive support on the Sobek.
Sobek. Well, it's either Sobek or the Athena. A lot
That's
of different
true.
things.
It's a double guardian. I just noticed.
Susano will likely be in the jungle. Chronos will likely be... we'll hold off on Chronos just yet. Noble, on the other hand, they're being a lot nicer to us. Janus in the mid lane, Hoagie and Khepri duo lane, Cabrakan. All right, Cabrakan a little bit of flex, but with the last pick of Nemesis, Cabrakan in the solo, Nemesis in the jungle. Team Eager, on the other hand, I mean, flip a coin.
I would say it would be more beneficial for Eager to put the Athena in the solo lane. She'll have a little bit of a better clear if you use her mechanics efficiently by bunching up the wave together and shield walling it, and then utilizing your ultimate globally during those jungle fights, and you'll be coming into that team fight at a higher level than most other gods anyway, so more than likely going to see Athena in the solo lane.
So we've got the Neith and the Chronos. Likely, honestly, I would rather see the Neith in the mid lane and the Chronos in the Hunter role. I like Chronos a lot in the long lane. We'll have to see where Eager decides to distribute their individual players. What's your ideal positioning for these guys?
I would say Neith in the hunter position, trying to be able to just sit farm, throw out those ultimates into those jungle fights, and just leave AirCougar alone.
So we're going to see Team Eager do basically everything we didn't say. We're going to see the Sobek. We're going to see the support Athena. We will see the Chronos in the mid lane on Delta Marine 72. So definitely Eager getting ready to just get ready for it. I'm very excited for this one. The Double Guardian is, hilariously enough, the Double Guardian was a mark of Team Eager once upon a time, right?
In the PC side of things, we used to run Double Guardian quite heavily because we would also run Double Hunter with it sometimes. Sometimes we would run Triple Guardian depending on the situation into the jungle side. And it was actually a lot of fun playing that too because it's like a game of chess. You know, you're controlling the front line and the back line at the same time. It's very difficult to go through a Sobek and an Athena that are constantly going to be able to disrupt you with CDR.
So it's very interesting watching a team like Team Eager, or an organization, I should say, like Team Eager, who has a team both in like a storied history in the PC side and then the new emergence in the console side, being able to see the sort of communication, whether it's between Eager, PC being brought down on the console side, or just Eager saying, hey, you got to look at the entire world of Smite and look what the Europeans have been doing on the SCL using the Double Guardian composition. So wherever Eager is learning it from, it's very telling that the team has been doing their homework as they try different things.
And seeing a Cabrakan against a Sobek into the solo lane, it's going to be one of those like Zangief versus E Honda kind of matchups. It's just basically bullying and slapping each other silly.
Just a little bit of back and forth. Don't expect to see a kill anytime soon.
Not at all. It's an interesting start. Cabrakan going for a very aggressive Vamp Shroud purple pot star, trying to clear the wave as soon as possible. Whereas Sobek, knowing he's going to take a little bit of poke, still electing to go for Market the Vanguard, despite obviously the Cabrakan being magical. You're trying to negate the physical damage coming out of the minions. And also, Tremors is still going to be negated by the HP 5.
And Dwurst doing one of my favorite old strategies. So he doesn't have a single relic, right? If he gets forced back, we'll see the solo laner pick up the teleport in order to get back to lane. But if he's able to just successfully live out for a while, he'll pick up a different relic that'll assist the team in the team fight. Really enjoyed that strategy.
Duo lane taking a little bit of pressure. Eager doing a good job utilizing the early game pressure out of the Neith. And in this position, Grattywind is looking to play very aggressive, trying to find the right angle. Gonna catch the Neith. Gonna get taunted right away, so great recognition coming out of the Athena.
Yeah, just good old taunt, understanding that's gonna happen. And to be fair, Lou was a little bit too far away to really make anything happen off of that, but just the old exercise, get off of my hunter.
Also have to be careful when you're walking over that weave that could get exploded on, and you would take double damage if that connects with a Spirit Arrow.
AoE root as well. Lou's gonna get taunted, and then Spirit Arrow that Lou's gonna jump on over. And there's the grab onto AirCougar. A couple of basics from Lou going into the Athena. Wrong target, but here comes the cavalry. Jungle comes in from the side here. Shame trying to find the slow onto gustavY, but the sprint will make Nemesis cry.
The patience from AirCougar holding on to that backflip up until the Nemesis got right to his face. Just backflipping at the last second during the slice and dice. Just excellent patience.
Yep. And then Shame right there. I mean, that's unfortunately Nemesis' problem early on, but similar to Beads, I mean, you've got the cooldown on the sprint now. Make that gank again, that escape doesn't happen.
In the mid lane, Khepri grouping up, not finding the route available to him for the pull. However, Lou taking a lot of pokes, so utilizing this Guardian that's left behind in a 1v1, just taking advantage of the enemy Hunter now. When the Neith comes back into the lane, this is who he has to back and is going to miss out on some experience and gold potentially.
You know, smart play by Lou there not to turn around and hit the Athena. If Lou fights back into the Athena, he's dead from minion aggro. So he just decides not to go for it, just tries to run away. And now the Athena's the one in trouble. gustavY gets grabbed, gustavY gets slowed, and gustavY's going to get rooted. Taunts there, but a great knock-up and pull coming out from Susano. Saves the life of Team Eager support. More importantly, the first blood.
Janus ultimate almost connecting onto the Athena. That more than likely would have confirmed first blood. And with the Khepri having to back, True Shame taking a lot of poke, getting hit with the jet stream. Susano not electing to engage as Khepri was right around the corner. Didn't want to get pulled under that tier 2 tower. So speed buff, blue buff, respawning, red's already back up. The boars as well. both teams are going to try to get for that after they clear their waves.
So these characters here in the mid lane for Noble, they've got an interesting core with Janus, the Khepri, and then of course when you look into the jungle, you've got the Nemesis as well. So Noble, they don't have the most pressure in the world, but they have a lot of tools and tricks up their sleeves to make sure that they're not giving anything up for free.
You have the mobility on the Janus. You have a crazy amount of protection from the Khepri to reduce the damage, incoming damage, and give an extra life to anybody around the corner. So just a good all-around balanced composition, like you mentioned, from Noble.
Team Eager on the other side, we've got the Susano, the Chronos, and the Athena. A little bit more aggression coming out from these guys. Chronos and Susano definitely are going to want to take these fights.
In the mid game specifically, with this Athena and Sobek combination, you want to be able to group up and combine your CCs. Aggression in the left side, Neith ultimate coming out on Shame's in a lot of trouble. Khepri ulti keeping him alive, no problem.
Very important ultimate coming out from the support there. Grattywind basically saves the first blood one more time. Fantastic stuff. I mean, Eager executed that perfectly. It just so happened that Noble did so as well.
And what I just reminded myself of, in this position as a Sobek, you can easily stop the Tremors with a tail flip. So that's another reasoning why you're going to be putting Sobek into the solo lane instead of Athena. Sure, you can taunt the Cabrakan out of the Tremors, but you're not doing damage to the wave at the same time, whereas Sobek is clearing and stopping the ability of Cabrakan.
And Athena just has the taunt, right? With the Sobek, you have not just the tail whip, but also the charge prey. So you have a number of options to really get rid of that, the Tremor nonsense coming out from the Cabrakan. So Sobek definitely the character to go ahead and deal with that in the solo lane. With that said, still trailing by about 500.
Not really too much going on at this point in time. Just a couple of kills that were barely escaped from, as Eager is going to be aggressed on by yoyoabc, almost connecting the kill onto Jellly yet again, forcing out his purification. Really huge win coming out of Yo-Yo, because now the speed buff is going to get delayed even further from Eager.
And now just the presence that Yo-Yo has in this lane. He's about half a level up on the Sobek, and he's just able to push out because of that nonsense. So all of that fun stuff is very, very exciting.
Something that we just noticed is that it's actually going to be Jellly into the jungle position, and gustavY is going to take over his support position for this game.
Mid lane, Delta Marine in some trouble. Going to go ahead and rewind underneath the tower, safe and sound. And yeah, as you were saying, Jellly is usually the support player for Team Eager. So gustavY going to step in and make his name known. Very glad that gustavY could show up. I like that guy. He's fun. He's a good friend of mine.
And the Gold Fury side of things, Shane taking a lot of damage with a time stop, time rift combo, trying to dish out return poke, but looks like Noble doesn't really want to commit too hard, but it does look like Lou wants to get the first blood onto Delta Marine.
Yeah, it's the first blood going the way of Noble Esports. Very strong play coming out from those guys. Doesn't look like they want to start the Gold Fury just yet. A little too early, I think.
Just making sure that nothing too crazy is going on at this point in time.
So coming out into this long lane, Shame just gets rooted. That was an interesting gank coming out from Noble. They thought they might have been able to surprise the Hunter, but that vision line, too strong.
Just making sure that good vision coming out of Noble, I would say. Having the top and the bottom side Gold Fury ward allows the Huyi to just consistently play aggressive whenever he wants to in the laning phase. But you look at the sentry wards coming out of Eager, it's so unfortunate they're not able to catch that top side ward.
Not quite. The Sentry Ward will be. It's just looking directly for the. Oh, I see the one up that you're talking about up by the back pigs. Yeah, just a little bit too far up to find that ward.
Making sure. However, though, with this passive ward coming out of AirCougar, it makes sure that there's no aggressive ward by Noble, making sure that if there's ever a gank into the dual lane, it would benefit Eager in this position.
So now 7 minutes in, we've only seen one kill here so far. But with that in mind, these teams are, at least for Noble, they don't want to find the early hyper-aggressive. It's a Nemesis, it's a Janus and a Khepri, right? They're fine waiting to the mid-game. But on the other side with Team Eager, I mean, Susano's a guy that kind of wants to make it happen early. Chronos, definitely not an early game god by any stretch of the imagination, but helping him get started is certainly something that Eager is interested in. What are Noble doing to stop Eager from being so aggressive early on?
I would say it would be up to yoyoabc trying to take advantage of just his early burst damage, trying to out-rotate this Sobek in this position. Sobek's going to have to constantly use his ultimate just to be able to keep up with his mana sustain in the laning phase. So that's going to be an opportunity for Noble to take advantage. Hunter position that looks like a crazy boxing match. Athena ulti coming out.
Oh, the ultimate from Lou going to be a little bit, you know, so I'll take that back. I say a little bit off the mark, but really it separates him from the opponent. His opponent walks right on through the ult, so no big deal for them. But here comes the rest of Noble. Shame gets another kill. That's one on him and one on the Hunter. Very, very smart rotation coming out from Noble, and they're able to punish Eager for walking through Hoyi's ult.
Noble were hanging Lou like a piece of candy in front of Eager, and Eager were chasing him a little bit too far forward. So beautiful counter aggression coming out of Noble. Just overall, Susano not able to find the ultimate. It was max range, unfortunately for him. The purification was long enough as well that it probably wouldn't have knocked him up, but the damage might have been enough to confirm the kill.
Just barely. Noble's going to get out of there 2-0 at the moment as we approach 10 minutes, which is when, of course, our Fire Giant will spawn. yoyoabc, you want to talk about the aggression. He knows that he's in a 1v2 situation here, and he's still ready to go ahead and aggress onto this blue buff.
And he wants to be able to try to, even if he gets the little minions in this position, it's still fine. And we mentioned this matchup favors the Cabrakan early on. The Sobek had no mana, has to back, didn't have teleport. And in this position, if Susano tried to commit to defending that blue buff, he would get outpoked and then he would have to back as well.
Just making sure to pay attention to everybody's life bar and situation there is very, very important for what these guys want to do. As we take a look at Janus over here. He's going to be able to level up and clear the wave. What's he... Notice he has 2 points in both Portal and Threshold. Is that normal?
Not normally. You want to be able to commit to one or the other.
Right.
Me personally, I prefer Threshold, as you would get more movement speed for yourself and your teammates that walk through it.
Yep.
But in that position, it could have been a situation where there was a team fight going on, and he wanted to get more damage off with his portal
Just
potentially.
yeah.
So that was an option. Sometimes that happens.
Yep.
Like you're level 8, you're saving that ability for you maxing out an ability and an ultimate, but here's a team fight. Let me use this ability point for a team fight.
Exactly. Just need every little bit of damage you can possibly find. Left side Heartbeats go to Team Eager. No problem there.
Noble with a little bit of a lead this early on. Not too much currently, but still comfortable enough to try to snowball it.
Dwurst going to get aggressed on by Yo-Yo. Drops the ultimate to go ahead and clean up the buffs.
Unfortunately for Yo-Yo, wasn't able to confirm it with his own ultimate. Lou, it fell to Jellly in the duo lane as AirCougar is going to get a nice root onto Shame, making this Nemesis ulti less effective.
Yeah, the ultimate, unfortunately, on the target that got away. The one that was rooted was not Nemesis ultimate. Otherwise, that could have been a kill. A lot of strip protections coming out from the jungle assassin, but not going to be the case here for no.
So with that, Eager find themselves a kill. Going to alleviate a little bit of pressure in the duo lane for a little bit, as the Neith is going to be able to push and sit in the lane. Looking at the builds, they're both working on the Soul Eater, and currently the Hui is a little bit ahead.
A little bit at the moment, and when it comes down to it, though, this back and forth between the hunters, I'm really less concerned about it. We're going to see them build the same exact stuff and then transition the game in a couple of minutes right now. I don't think anybody really wants to box anytime soon over there in the long lane. I think it's going to be more about what happens in the mid, the jungle, and the solo for the beginning and middle of this game.
Speaking of the solo, Dwurst just charge bearing away from Yo-Yo's steroid, making sure that he's not going to take any sort of damage. He doesn't want to even come close to this Cabrakan. A little bit of aggression, however, in the left side.
A little bit. Grattywind in some trouble. Gonna get stunned. No follow-up from Team Eager. It seemed too easy. That's what happened. He was so out of position that Eager said, there's no way this is a free kill. This is a bait. And it wasn't.
Athena's going to find the taunt onto Yo-Yo with a charge prey. Time stop. Trying to do a lot of damage onto Yo-Yo, but he'll be fine. Disengaging Dwurst. Trying to continue the aggression, but 2 ultimates being wasted for Eager.
That right there. That's because Wiggles is a sub, or excuse me, gustavY is a sub, right? That is, all right, lurking in the waters, you're pushing forward, let me Athena ult you will go. Oh, we're not going in, unfortunately. Okay, our bad.
That would have been a lot of damage, however.
Exactly.
Sobek and Athena ultimate on the same target.
Yeah, that's gnarly. That's 70% of your HP if you're not a tank. That's rough.
Neith connecting with the Spirit Arrow. Very nicely done. It's going to try to find more poke with this wave advantage. Did manage to back in time and finish the Soul Eater before the Hui. So now can play very aggressive, not allowing the Hui to back. But Lou looking to play very carefully here, just spotting in the jungle. Looking at the warding situation, Eager has the Gold Fury completely dominated with wards.
Yeah, Eager, they definitely don't want to lose by way of objectives because Eager kind of understand that they have the team fight, right? At the moment, they don't have the kills to really reflect that, but I think that as the game gets later, especially into the mid game, not even the super late game, Team Eager just has a lot more tools to win these team fights. So if they get outsmarted and out-objectived, to make up a word, then I think that's when Team Eager has to worry. So that's why you see a lot of vision around the objective.
Shame using his ultimate, traded for a sprint and purification on AirCougar. 2 relics for a 70-second cooldown.
Nice.
You can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, that's what you want out of an ultimate, especially out of a Nemesis ultimate, right? Either you're going to delete somebody or you're going to scare them enough to, as you said, use all the relics. So very well done by Shame. Certainly a strong player. Now it's interesting actually. He maxed up his shield in favor of the ultimate. Nemesis is really about that ultimate. So I'm very surprised to see all of the points go into the shield rather than the ultimate for Nem.
Trying to be in a position where he'll be maybe able to tank a tower shot or two, looking for an early kill. So not a bad idea in that regard. And you're basically trying to force out relics anyway with your ultimate or some sort of defensive cooldown, not necessarily trying to actually get a kill.
It's all about the small wins to find the big goals, and that's what the Nemesis is in search of. There's a dash forward and a taunt coming out of Athena and a flip back as well. Khepri in some trouble. Susano going to knock him up again. I feel like this Khepri has just been bounced and bounced and bounced and bounced, but no kill just yet. Team Eager can't find the damage on top of the crowd control.
yoyoabc is rotating on the top-hand side, so Noble could potentially force something. AirCougar getting hit by the ricochet off the wall, root off the mark. However, this Athena is going to fall off of a nice Khepri pull, and yoyoabc coming from the top.
Ooh, and there's a great stun coming out from the bracket, but he's stunned in response. So not much he can do after the fact. Chronos just finds him somehow, some way. And now Noble going to focus on the objective.
So this is a 5v3. Jellly is forced out of this fight, and with the Athena dead. However, they do have to watch out for the Athena ultimate. The longer this lasts, we do have Dwurst trying to get off a nice lurking in the water, connecting onto 3. Jellly did come back into this team fight with a teleport.
yoyoabc with a great ultimate into Tremors. Grattywind going to fall down, but Shame does eventually pick up Dwurst, which is exactly what Cabrakan was looking for. Shame going to get taunted into 3. And they'll follow up, or the follow-up just isn't enough. Jellly going to follow Shame into the lane. There's a great pullback, but no damage available for Jellly.
Beautiful mindset by Jellly. Picking up this teleport just might have saved the Gold Fury objective for Eager, as well as the Athena being able to ulti, finding the dash taunt. Noble now lose the Gold Fury to Eager, and now they might lose Lou again.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Lou now running, knocked up, and see you later. Jellly with his second kill of the game, and again, 16 minutes, 14-16. This is when Susano, like, finds it. He's early game aggressive, but he really steps into himself after 1 or 2 items, and that's what we're seeing at the moment.
So in this position, Eager now established themselves with a little bit of a lead despite being behind off of just a global presence of the Athena, off of the teleport onto Jellly. Baited out a lot of cooldowns, barely able to survive using that purification and disengaging. Eager now not in a position to control the game, but they're not out of it, and they're still in the driver's seat.
For now. Very much for now. There is 1,000 gold separating these teams, if not less, about 500. So, as Dustin 420 would say, for now. For now. 17.5 on the clock at the moment. Teams are separated by 2 kills and 500 gold. This is definitely anybody's game. You really like that one.
I like that. For anyone that doesn't know, he's the man, the myth, the legend. Just go look him up. That's all. That's all there is to say about that guy.
So Noble looking for this more, like I said, more of the late mid game, right? I'll say the upper mid game. They've got the Nemesis, which will travel very late. Oh, travel very well into the late game, but the Janus damage really finds itself in the, like right before the 30-minute mark, right in those 20s. Whereas Team Eager, they don't care. They'll ride that Chronos into the sunset.
Nemesis ulti in the mid lane trying to force out some sort of defensive cooldowns, but nothing was really popped. It looks like Eager was playing very cautiously in the tower, not wanting to disengage or re-engage. Just said, all right, dive me. I dare you.
Yep, just give it a shot. Give it a shot, man. See what happens. And Team Eager sticking to their guns. They're going to stay there, just standing still. Shame is really the big part of Noble's dive right here. Shame is to find, identify the target, ultimate the target, and then inevitably come up on top. That's the goal right here for Noble trying to deal with this mid lane scrum.
Meanwhile, on the duo side, HuYi forced out the purification out of AirCougar, so trying to probably make another play as the rotation does come from Eager, so HuYi's just going to back off as the rest of Noble grab their own red buff. Not much going on at the 19-minute mark when gustavY is still going to be down for about 2.5 more minutes.
Exactly. Most importantly, Shame's ultimate was down as well, so I was mentioning the importance of Shame on the initiations and able to get in those fights. Well, with the ultimate down on the Nemesis, certainly not an avenue that Team Eager really want to that Noble really want to explore.
Looking at some of the builds, Cabrakan has finished off his Soul Reaver, trying to go really hard in the paint.
I mean, absolutely.
Fights.
Yeah, just looking to go get a lot of the damage out, and we've seen him move away from the whole Fat Loki build. Cabrakan is capable through certain items to just absolutely annihilate people very quickly, a la Ao Kwang, but we've seen him move away just for more consistent damage, more protection, and the ability to just stand in the middle of everything. yoyoabc, feeling himself, or at least feeling the character a little bit, wants to get a little bit of that burst back.
Not having that physical protection in these mid-game team fights, coming close to the 20-minute mark against this Neith and the Susano, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. You're going to have penetration also coming online from the Susano, so that's something you have to be very mindful about. Coming anywhere near that, there's going to be a lot of damage over time also by the Jetstream. Just wanting to make sure that you don't take too... Like, you're building around magical defense, obviously, with the Pestilence, limiting some of the healing from the Sobek. Right. Not able to find the hit. That's so unfortunate.
Still can't find the hit, even though he's taunted. And just going to settle for the Tremors instead. Mid lane now, we're getting our players grouped up. 4 players here on the side of Noble, 4 players here on the side of Team Eager, and you can see the 5th Sobek lurking on the right wing.
Just going to concede those mid-harpies, waiting for the rest of his team. 4 members of Eager are grouped up. This Khepri is really exposed, but barely able to dash away from the initiation of Eager.
There's a slap onto the Neith. Not going to be followed up on, though.
Just kind of waiting to see which team bites first. Eager tried, but the Khepri barely escaped, and now Lou was thinking about pushing that tower, but nice rotation out of Eager and beautiful discipline out of Lou.
Yeah, just smart play knowing that he can't really push that tower. That would not be the correct choice, especially with all the vision that he doesn't know the Team Eager has. But more importantly about not knowing about that your enemy has vision is that you certainly don't.
Beautiful invade coming out of yoyoabc, securing that for Shame. That's going to put Jellly in a position that he can't really utilize his mobility that much further, even though the passive gives you a lot of mobility, complementing that with the speed buff, especially at this position, when you want to initiate as soon as possible the Jetstream pull combination.
Ooh, nice route. Shame one more time. Going to be stopped down. Here's a rotation from solo, or from jungle rather.
The teleport. The teleport that saved the Gold Fury from earlier on.
I love jungle teleport. I love jungle teleport on gods like Susano and Thor, who are already incredibly mobile, and the teleport just amplifies that.
You're going to be able to split push anytime you want, but meanwhile, Noble forcing the Gold Fury, trying to get Eager out of position potentially. Yo-Yo trying to zone out, do a lot of damage. Dash taunt.
There's a taunt, but all of a sudden, Athena's the one that's in trouble. 50% on her or less. Ultimate from Janus not going to find a home. And Gold Fury leashed, not even the focus.
AirCougar going to disengage, used his Sanctuary, so he could be exposed potentially as the Cabrakan is all up in her grill. Going to try to use the Tremors, but there's no physical protection. yoyoabc is going to be the first victim to Delta Marine.
And there's another great taunt coming out from Awe. Not really going to find much of anything there.
Neith ultimate being channeled, connected onto Shame. Jetstream also, so he's going to be chased down by Jellly, taking a lot of damage, but the Nemesis shield keeping her alive, getting pulled back in, double pulled back in. Khepri ultimate, saving the life of Shame for now.
Grattywind so quick on that one, he's going to die, but the player that he tried to save will successfully walk away.
That's what you want out of your support. You want your support to be able to bail you out of that situation. You don't want to be dying as the carry. In this position, Eager come out on top, 2-for-0 trade. They get the Gold Fury as well. Lou's going to be harassed by the Sobek and stolen the red buff as well.
GG. Can't find the red buff. Can't take it away either. So 5-5 read the kills. We're 23 minutes into this one. And the gold is all but even, separated by 3,000. It's Team Eager certainly in the lead with a nearly identical number for XP.
And now with this Tier 1 tower, going to extend their gold lead ever so slowly. Now, Shame getting contested on the speed buff, stolen away before. Now Eager's returning the favor, or trying to.
Trying to, I think is the key word.
Good rotations out of Noble, however, are going to prevent that. Dwurst not wanting to get pinned into the Cabrakan ultimate, just going to disengage using that charge prey. Very well timed as well.
You know, I like Dwurst playing on the Sobek. Dwurst is a little more willing than the other players to try new things or old things in a new meta. So watching Dwurst really pick up the solo mech is kind of fun.
Always brings a little crocodile tear to my eye.
That's all I'm giving you is a ha-ha-ha.
Can we get some ha-has?
I'll get some lull in the chat. Lull. So, lull in the game as well. yoyoabc going to be flipped around a little bit, but ultimately he'll be alright.
He's not going to take too much damage. That's 2 magical gods, and he does have Pestilence available to him. However, with Jellly making the rotation, if he gets caught out with the pull from there, he'll be taking quite a bit of damage. But the chase does not commit. Meanwhile, Hui on the left-hand side, able to get this Tier 1 tower for free. Jellly was trying to port to it, but not able to get to there in time. Meanwhile, Athena looking for the dash, but beautiful portal coming out of Janus, not going to follow up with the taunt.
Can't find it at all. gustavY gets slowed down. A Shame looking on the backside for him. Doesn't really want to use the ultimate. And in fact, doesn't want to find it onto the support just yet.
Rotation onto the dual lane. Lou might be in a little bit of trouble. Lou jumping away, Jelly's getting the pull, forcing the purification, doing a lot of damage, and forcing out the ultis.
Yeah, the ultimate's going to come out. Both of them as well. Susano is used and pretty much thrown to the wayside. He'll find a portal out, but he'll also find a Chronos. He'll find the long way dead. Chronos, Delta Marine, winds up with his 3rd kill of the game, 3-11.
And now with this kill, Eager is going to try to extend their player advantage by getting this Tier 1 tower on the dual lane side, trying to mitigate the losses earlier on that they had. 4-on-2 in the dual lane. Sobek, right-hand side. Janus, meanwhile, split pushing in mid lane.
Yeah, Shame right there going to get chased out. You can see all 4 players on Team Eager that are here in this lane going to go ahead and push down the tower. Excellent job. And now they're looking for a Tier 2.
And it's going to be a 4-on-3 once this player does make the rotation. And Cabrakan rotating in with about half health. Not that efficient. Going to get rooted out as Shame in a little bit of trouble. Forced to use the Sanctuary. And a defensive ulti from Yo-Yo. Nowhere for to go to Shame. Going to get rezzed by the Khepri. Beautiful play coming out of Grattywind.
I loved the plan of yoyoabc, putting the wall down to prevent anybody from really walking in or dealing damage to the tower. Excellent job protecting what he cared about. This time, though, Tier 2 tower will fall on the left side. That's 1,500 gold.
And red buff stolen away as well. Eager extending their lead even further. They're slowly and surely just taking these objectives one by one by one. They were down 1,000 gold. Then they were up 1,000 gold. Now they're up 5,000 after being up 3,000 after that Gold Fury. So just slow and steady pace out of Eager, playing as a cohesive unit.
And that's the key right there, is you ask people what the difference is between this year and yesteryear when it comes to Smite. And it's about the teamwork and the cohesiveness. Players have stood out, but now everybody is generally as good as everybody with few exceptions. And so it has become more about the 5-man team, the entire unit, rather than just about an individual player.
So coming up at the 27-minute mark, with this position, Noble's trying to find anything that they can after losing that Tier 2 tower. Not really finding the Chronos or getting any relics out of him, so just going to accelerate away. He does have Wingblade to counter this Nemesis ulti. It's a beautiful pickup anytime. Sobek, Susano, Chronos having the Wingblade, all 3 of them.
Yeah, the Nemesis. The Nemesis does a very good job at slowing down the players as well. So that winged wand or the winged blade, excuse me, so important. You ever mix up your legacy terms? Winged wand.
Oh, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to call that one winged wand.
The cursed the winged cursed blade or something like that. I used to call it all the time. Engagement into the mid lane. Shame going to get taunted, a lot of damage, but the Khepri ultimate should keep him alive unless they stagger their damage, and if AirCougar can connect the root, but it's not available to him.
Nope, can't find it. Khepri ult one more time, keeps it alive. Wow.
Not really much going on as gustavY does respawn, but Eager going to try to force this out. 2 members from Eager zoning
Oh, he
out.
knows.
A lot of people in the mid lane are going to have to make this rotation. Janus ult is available. Taunt. Going to force out the purification from Lou. Chronos taking a lot of damage from that Janus ult.
Sanctuary coming out from Chronos, but it doesn't last forever. Lou gets credit with the Suns. Now the ultimate's being used on the top side players. Nobody has drawn the Gold Fury's aggro just yet. It'll be yoyoabc and Noble Esports aggress onto the Gold Fury.
Going to have to be very careful, however. We do have Dwurst trying to make a rotation and a play. Going to get stunned out, pulled by the Khepri, taking a lot of damage from Lou. Going to have to disengage here as AirCougar makes the rotation. Jellly's teleport does get canceled out. Good recognition from Noble as they start up the Gold Fury yet again. Eager have to find the right angle to contest this or get something out of it, but AirCougar going to push in the mid lane in the process. Yeah,
it's many pronged attacks happening right now. Love this attention from Team Eager. This mid lane tower might even go down while Team Eager
stole it. Eager stole the Gold Fury.
The 3rd Gold Fury of the game.
And they got the tier 2 tower in the mid lane, so they are just on top of all these objectives. They're just doing a wonderful job, and they can't even chase him.
What else can you ask for, Toli? You get the stolen objective, you get the objective you were split pushing for. I love it.
Not even going to find the kill onto the Neith unless they can somehow pin her after the backflip. But she's comfortably sitting under her tier 1 tower with a red buff, daring anybody to come near her.
Doesn't look like anybody's going to take that dare. The flip back from Sobek just puts one friend with his team. AirCougar, on the other hand, Grattywind going to go ahead and get in some trouble. True Shame gets knocked up, and the Sanctuary is going to give him enough time to get under the tower, but Dwurst still takes him out.
Lou dropping the Suns, yoyoabc retreating under the tower dash onto the Athena, connecting with the taunts as Lou falls to Delta Marine.
Ouch.
Another kill as yoyoabc falls, so a 4-for-0 exchange, and now Eager can easily start up this Fire Giant, no problem. Only person is Janus, however, he does have his ultimate. This is going to have to be a slam dunk.
He's waiting. Super-O has it available. Fire Giant 50%. Needs to hit it at about 4% to even have a dream. Looking at it already 30. Far too early. Not going to be able to do much. Takes 10% out with it, but the enemy takes out the whole. Team Eager now has Fire Giant buff.
Not only do they have Fire Giant buff, they have a commanding 10 to 11,000 gold lead with about 12,500 experience with only 1 tier 2 tower remaining. Once they get this objective, they buy all their items with a gold in hand. Look at the Athena and the Neith sitting above 2,000 gold in hand. 3 members with over 2,000 gold in hand.
Just looking for the push forward. I mean, like the Athena and the Neith. Right now, the Neith, you can finish that Wind Demon and huzzah for you, but pushing right now is probably a little bit more important. The 2 towers go down, and once those objectives are down, we finally see the back coming out from Eager. There's the finished Wind Demon. There's the finished build coming out from your support player, Athena, as well.
Neith did sell her just to pick up the Titan's Bane. So she's full build, having a lot of damage online, having the Executioner for a lot of penetration, trying to be able to shred anybody that's in front of her. So now Eager with Fire Giant for a very long period of time should be able to just group up in one lane and get this next Phoenix.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to look for, just a concentrated effort onto the individual Phoenixes. Mid lane, most likely, they're a straight target. You always want to go furthest away from the Fire Giant. That's going to be your most favorable Phoenix, just because when the Phoenixes respawn, you're further away from the objective to go ahead and get the Fire Giant a second time. But just judging from the positioning from Team Eager, it looks like they want to go left and mid at the same time. They'll split up and have a 2-pronged attack.
So the way Noble have to get back into this game is with a very well-calculated Cabrakan ultimate that's going to dissect Eager into 2 spots, and that's going to have to rely on the Hui to have a lot of damage. This Athena's going to find the dash taunt and forcing the purification out of Nemesis.
And there's the ultimates coming down just to play defense. It should be enough for the moment, but now Team Eager can go and re-engage a second time, and the Hui ultimate won't be there a second time.
Which is very important for the defense. It's going to be that much more difficult for Noble to handle the aggression out of Eager. You could easily just look for this dash taunt every single time, and just the patience out of Eager. Gonna find the purification as well.
Yeah, and there's Cabrakan with a beautiful wall, but the team is going to prevent the kills from happening. Love the way Team Eager work as a unit. Super O does start this one off by taking out AirCougar, and that's enough to have Team Eager retreat just a little bit. And with Delta Marine taking a chunk of his HP, he's going to walk away as well. Successful defensive set coming out from Noble Esports as they defend their left Phoenix.
Backflip was down for AirCougar, and like we mentioned, yoyoabc's ultimate has to find somebody out of position, and AirCougar, unfortunately for him, was that victim. And with that, Noble Esports hold on to their left side Phoenix for now. Did take about half health right now. There is a sentry ward. It's a very suspicious sentry ward between that left and mid Phoenix for Eager, so there might be a double teleport play backdoor if there's ever a positioning from Noble on the right-hand side.
Yeah, just getting ready, getting the opportunity poised and ready to go is pretty much what Team Eager is looking for. They don't have the Janus, of course. Janus is going to be on the side of Noble Esports, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. And that's exactly what we're going to see out of Eager if it comes down to the old drop chip.
It would be very aggressive. There's a lot of damage coming online from Jellly with that Transcendence. Normally we don't see junglers with Transcendence, especially at this stage of the game. Does have 34 stacks. Eager just going to extend their goal lead, trying to utilize the Fire Giant buff any way that they can. They weren't successful in the Phoenixes, but going to just transition that into Gold Fear, which also denies Noble from any comeback potential.
That's really what it is. Now, you got the potions, of course, and the potions wind up being a big deal once you spend 3,000 on them for sure, but it's really about just taking another objective off of the board away from Noble Esports. Not allowing them to have all the options is a very, very big deal.
So coming up at the 35-minute mark, Fire Giant is going to respawn within a minute or so. Eager with a pretty comfortable lead, so going to be able to find the right warding triangular formation, try to find somebody out of position. You have two beautiful Guardians to find anybody out of position, whether it's Athena dash taunt or the Sobek charge prey. So Eager has to be looking for this play around the corner.
And that's what they're trying to find here. You can see AirCougar just trying to play the angles right. And there's going to be a dash forward, a pull, looking for these individual picks. But Eager won't find it.
They're just doing a good job cleansing all the warding coming out of Noble Esports regardless. Unfortunately, they're not able to find that one ward that's right in between, right above the Fire Giant pit. So it's going to constantly see whether or not Eager are actually committing to this Fire Giant or just waiting and baiting around the corner.
And right now it looks like Team Eager are, well, they're not decided. Before they were waiting and baiting. Now it looks like they want to go right for the Fire Giant. That's exactly what they'll start. 75% HP already. And quickly down to half.
You have a late game Chronos and a late game Neith being able to just shred this Fire Giant. Nobody from Noble are really wanting to come near. AirCougar already at half health, but it doesn't seem that Noble are aware of his health pool.
Fire Giant has been leashed, and now Eager looking directly for the fight. Grattywind immediately needs the Khepri ultimate and gets very low very, very quickly. Shell on the side of Eager is popped as well.
So Noble still hold for now. They don't necessarily need to commit. Khepri isn't here in this team fight, and Eager recognize this, so they're going to be very aggressive, channeling this Neith ultimate, waiting for the victim, and it's going to be onto Shame, forcing out the Purification and the Sanctuary, trying to survive, but going to get knocked up and charge prayed.
That's damage for Dwurst. He's waiting for it. Oh, I can't find it. Eager are just getting pushed back. Noble looks so strong when it comes to these defensive sets. What is it about Noble that are allowing them to be so successful at defense?
It's just the sheer amount of control that they have between the Cabrakan and the Khepri. You reduce the damage out of Eager, which has a lot of late game damage between the Chronos and the Neith. So mitigating that and having an extra life with the Khepri, Eager dumped a lot of cooldowns onto the Khepri at the beginning of that team fight, and he had to ulti himself just to barely survive it.
And right now, Fire Giant be started by Team Eager, halfway down already. Shame doesn't exactly have the tools to go ahead and take this away.
Fire Giant still being aggressed on by Eager. It's at 30%. It's not moving any further than that, as we do have Chronos taking a lot of damage, but not until he did enough back, and Super is going to fall. So now Eager playing on the offensive, finding the rune onto Shame, trying to get some mobility off of that ultimate with the shield's going to get negated. Khepri ultimate should be able to stall this out. It doesn't look like Eager are going to pop it quite yet. Dwurst with the charge prey kill.
Well done, taking out Shame. yoyoabc trying to stay hidden over here. He wants to stay on the backside. Fire Giant. Oh, but he's going to be discovered by Delta Marine. And yoyoabc is going to have to bail. And that's a Fire Giant going the way of Team Eager. 38 minutes into this one.
Noble doing a good job respecting the fact that Eager has a 2-man advantage, 5-on-3. Had they lost any more members, Noble, they would have lost the game more than likely.
Oh, yeah.
So at least now Noble's in a position where, okay, we might be able to lose this one Phoenix, but we're definitely defending the mid Phoenix afterwards.
And, you know, the defense for Noble, they can't rest on their laurels, but this is exactly what you want to do. So now that you know, now you guys know at home, commentators aren't just saying it to say it. When you're down 15,000 gold, you want to stall and stall and stall, because now teams are even, Tolly. Teams are even. The gold doesn't matter. It's all about the teams, and it's all about, well, AirCougar finds the kill on the Grattywind. yoyoabc still trying to provide some space.
Grattywind, unfortunately, being the first victim, not having his ultimate available as he had to use it earlier on. And now Eager confirmed their first Phoenix with the second Fire Giant, trying to extend it with the second one as the plug does come out, forcing the double dash out of Shame. Dwurst still looking for something aggressive. Nice ricochet, forcing Delta Marine to barely escape with a rewind.
Not going to be able to find it this time around. And there's Shame in some trouble. He's going to get ulted and use the purification to get out of there as well. Good play coming out from Shame.
Jellly's Jet Stream connects as yoyoabc might fall to this, lurking in the water. AirCougar credited with the kill. 2 members down on the side of Noble. Eager extending their Phoenix count to 2 down.
This is a fantastic play for Team Eager. This is likely where they're going to look to end the game, totally. They're going to take out this left-hand Phoenix, and more importantly, they're going to focus on the kills here. They already have 2 Phoenixes down, and if somebody steps out of position, or if Eager makes them step out of position, they're going to look for the kills. With 1 or 2 kills, this is easily a win.
Charge prey onto the Nemesis, double dash. The Khepri ultimate should keep Shame alive unless the not electing to go onto the Nemesis, trying to connect onto Lou. Dash, taunt, Lou falls, and that's going to be 1 down for Noble.
And
so
that's it.
That's going to be a harder defense. I just don't see it. Once these fire waves start flooding into the Titan room, Noble is going to fall.
That's what it's about. That's why we're seeing Team Eager play a little bit more reserved here. They're waiting for those fire minions to come and assist them with the kills here.
So Shame trying to find Jellly potentially, but gonna have to disengage as there's just too much pressure on the Titan. Have to defend this. There's 2 fire waves into the Titan room, and Eager is gonna be able to take game number 1.
Easy. Well, no. Anything but easy. 40 minutes on the clock and 15 kills on the side of the winning team. We see Eager come out on top, and they're able to go ahead and win up above their opponents.
It's compared to the first game that they played in week number 2, Noble surrendered at 18 minutes. So the fact that they brought this to a 40-minute game just shows a lot of progress throughout this split.
Like you said, I mean, we just saw a lot of progress coming out from Noble, and I think